Hi everyone, welcome to Joy's Route. Today we will be discussing how we can create a Azure VM from the Azure portal. I have already logged into the Azure portal, so let us check how we can create a virtual machine from the portal. So once if we are logged into the Azure portal, in the left hand side, we have a option here. We have a option to create a virtual machine here. So I'm clicking on virtual machine and create a Azure virtual machine. If this option is not available, then in the search bar we can search it out, virtual machine, and start creating a virtual machine. So we are going to create a virtual machine from the Azure portal. So I'm selecting Azure virtual machine, create a virtual machine hosted by Azure. So I'm selecting that. So here I have we will have to select our subscription and select the resource group. I do have a existing resource group, so I'm selecting the existing one. If you are doing it for the first time, then you will have to create a resource group, or system itself will be creating a resource group for you. Each virtual machine will be contained inside the resource group. And the next step, we have to name the virtual machine. So I'm giving as test VM. Region, I'm selecting it as West Europe. I'm selecting almost all the setting as it is. By default, whatever is giving from the Azure portal, I'm keeping it as it is. If really required any changes, I am making it. And here I am selecting the zone 2 because my virtual machine size will not support in the zone 1. So I'm selecting zone 2. And the image, I am selecting it as Windows Server 2022. Size, it is E2 size and with the V3 version, 2 CPU and 16 GB RAM. I'm selecting it out. And the administrator account, we will have to give an administrator name. So I'm giving it as administrator 1, and I'm giving a strong password. We will have to confirm the password. Okay. Here, if we have any, presently we are selecting only RDP port. If you required HTTP or HTTPS or SSH, if you required any other port, we can select it and enable that. Presently, I'm not enabling any other port. System itself will create a OS disk for you. If the disk, again, we can select standard HSD, standard SSD, and local redundant storage, zone redundant storage. According to our convenience, there are many other options. I'm keeping it as it is. Whatever is by default, machine is portal is providing to us. I'm selecting as it is. Delete with VM. If we want to delete this disk with while deleting the VM, we can enable. We can tick over here. So I'm ticking it so that once the machine get deleted, this disk also will be auto deleted. If you have to add any additional disk, we can add it over here. Certainly, I'm not adding any disk here. The machine is creating the virtual network for you and subnet. By default, while creating the virtual machine, the portal itself will create a virtual network for us. If we want to create a separate virtual network, we can create it a separate virtual network, and we can allocate the subnet for that. We can create the subnet for that. So presently, I'm not creating any separate virtual network. In a production environment, normally here separate virtual network will be available. So we will have to select the proper virtual network for that Azure VM, and we have to select it over here and attach to this VM. So as it is a test VM and the lab environment, I'm not making any changes. Public IP, again, we have an machine will be creating a public IP and attaching to this virtual machine. Again, we have an option to select none. If you keep none, there will not be any public IP will be associated with this VM. Normally, in a production environment, public IP will be kept as none because due to the security reason, we will not be providing any public IP to, to the virtual machine. Presently, I required a public IP, so I'm allocating the default one. Okay. So, and keeping all other settings as it is. Here we have an option to auto shutdown. Uh, See, in a lab environment, again, to reduce the cost, we can shut down the machine. Machine will be automatically shut down at 7 p.m. on every day. So if we enable this, it will be, we can select even if you require to shut down the machine at 9 o'clock, then we can select it at 9. Time zone, we have to select according to our time zone. For me, it is Abu Dhabi, Muscat, so I'm selecting the time zone here. Again, if while shutting down, if you want to notify someone, we can notify a particular person. If you don't require it, we can disable that. And I'm keeping all other settings as it is. So machine is reviewing all the settings, whatever we have selected, and see validation is passed as of now, and it start creating the virtual machine. So we have a free option provided from the Azure end, from the Microsoft end. So we can use a free portal service which is provided from the Microsoft and create a virtual machine. Each step, one by one, we can explore it and understand how to create a virtual machine, what all options are provided from the Microsoft end. If we select this particular option, what will be happening? All those exploration can be done from your end, so that we will have more idea how to create a virtual machine, how to allocate a public IP, how to make a IP as a static, how to make it as a dynamic. So all those details, once if you start exploring from the Azure portal, you will be able to understand much more easier. So presently, I'm winding up by creating this virtual machine. So we will anyway. So we'll wait till the virtual machine get created. It is still creating the virtual machine. Even I have created so many videos related to virtual machine, how we can allocate a public IP, how we can create a nested virtualization in Azure VM, how can we add an additional disk. For all these things, I have created separate videos. So if you are following my channel, you can watch all those videos from my channel. Presently, I'm winding up. Once this machine is get created, it will be too lengthy if I enable, if I include all those details in this video. So once this machine get created, I will be closing this video. We'll be winding up this video, and in the same channel, you can find so many other videos related to virtual machine, and you can watch it and learn all those ideas. Yeah. So the machine is being created. The overview tab, we can see it is under this particular resource group. Region is West Europe. Some public IP is automatically allocated by the machine. It is E2 SV3 machine, CPU and 60 to 16 GB memory is available. Operating system, it is 2022. Even if you come to the properties session, the name which is given to the computer, operating system, then size, RAM, CPU, all the details are available. And the private IP, the machine has got 10.0.0.5. This is actually by created by the VM itself, from the portal itself. So this is the overview of the Azure virtual machine post creation. So in another videos, we will be I will be giving you more ideas about virtual machine, how we can create a virtual network, subnet, how we can add a additional disk. So all those details we'll be giving you in other videos. Thanks for watching this video. Please do support me by subscribing this channel and sharing to your friends. We'll meet you in another video. Bye.